instead of being scared that you are overly sensitive.
So call out in a add to the violence.
Yes.
Increase the peace.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Zoe, what's one thing that you'd like to see done?
Personally, I believe that education is the key in changing people's mindsets. So definitely, I would like to see the younger generation, like say maybe the primary students, being educated more on this. And also, I think that I agree that maybe the younger generation could actually teach the older generation, because usually it's been the older generation teaching the younger generation, and I think it's an interesting.
What would you like to teach the older generation specifically?
I think that mostly it's not. I would like to open their eyes and race blind isn't actually so bad, because we are all of different races, and that we should all learn to live together in harmony, and that we shouldn't discriminate.
Okay. So Candice, one thing that you'd like to see turned into action that you'd like to do to take us forward in this discussion?
So I think so far a lot of people has talked about raising awareness and education, but I think another important thing would be to have more interaction between different races, because I think if we kind of be more open to talking about race, because it's so sensitive, but if we be more open to talking about it, then perhaps we can understand different races better, and we can kind of become closer to other races as well.
Do you think we'll ever get to a post-racial state, race-blind state?
I think that it would take a very long time, because after all, as you can see in the news, there have been a lot of racist incidents happening so far. So I think if we want to reach that state, it would take a long time. But as long as we continue educating the younger generation, and also we kind of educate the older generation as well, and kind of have more conversations with them and have more conversations with other races as well, then perhaps we can reach that state.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you, Candice, Zoe, Shima, Sunny, and Praveen. Excellent insights and some very inspiring words, and especially to my guests as well who've joined us virtually, Dr. Nazri Barawi and Dr. Daniel Goh, and previously Dr. Matthew Matthews as well. I'm Jamal Puducherry. Regardless of race, will we ever get there? Probably not in my lifetime, but this is an aspiration that we have all pledged ourselves to as one people, and we can never stop trying.
From the new national security law to changes in its electoral system, China is tightening its grip on Hong Kong.
Clearly, it's unfortunate that Beijing has to step in.
Yes, now it's very clear that Beijing wants to make a new Hong Kong.
Does this spell the end of the last vestiges of democracy in Hong Kong? Remaking Hong Kong. Insight. Friday on CNA. The economy of today. It's extremely extractive, it's very polluting, and it's very wasteful.
How can we actually give meaning to the products that we're wearing today or eating today?
All the waste needs to be upcycled and recycled back into our existing system.
Imagine a future where we put these calories and nutrients to good use by feeding them to an insect who transforms them into something we can use instead.
Meet the Mavericks, unlocking opportunities and redesigning systems so nothing goes to waste.
The sooner we adopt circular economy approach to the materials, I think it will be better for the earth.
This is just the beginning of really being able to solve a global problem.
Climate for Change, Closing the Loop, premiering Monday 19th July at 9 p.m. on CNA.
This week, I join the men and women in the fight to save our native wildlife from extinction.
Singapore is completely responsible for keeping this species on this planet.
Is it too late to save our biodiversity?
What we're looking at in front of us is a forest that is slowly dying.
Basically, yeah.
And what can we do as a tiny city-state to turn back the clock?
It's In Our Nature, Monday, on CNA. From the top stories in Asia
A quicker, portable way of testing for COVID-19 in just 5 minutes.
to breaking news in the US and Europe,
US President-elect Joe Biden is set to formally introduce his top economic team.
with an eye on markets opening across the world.
Wall Street's major indices all closed the month with double-digit percentage gains.
It's the one bulletin that offers you a global perspective. World Tonight, daily, on CNA. CNA Women, an all-new digital destination for women. From personal health and family, financial literacy and investment, content, and be part of the conversation. On broader socio-cultural issues that matter to women. CNA Women on CNA Lifestyle.
As I live my life, I am increasingly surprised by my strength, my determination, by the power of my beliefs. I find reward in the honesty of my endeavors, proud of what I have achieved, and convinced there is much more I can do.
This is Singapore Tonight.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Joel Newbron. Here are tonight's top stories. Cybercrime soared in 2020. Cases jumped by over 70% last year, with the COVID-19 pandemic being a key factor in online threats. Singapore to double COVID-19 wastewater testing surveillance sites to 400 by next year. SB Group to trial charging points that can transfer energy from electric vehicles back to the grid. Singapore's esports ecosystem goes a level up. A 12,000 square foot space gives a boost to the goal of regional hub status for competitive gaming. People with disabilities can now get more involved in sports. A new mobile app launched to boost their participation.
I'm Dawn Tan. Also tonight, growing political uncertainty in Malaysia after a key party in the ruling coalition withdraws its support for the Prime Minister. But the Attorney General says Muhyiddin Yassin is still the PM. And organisers of the Tokyo 2020 Olympics agree to hold the Games without spectators. A new COVID-19 state of emergency has been declared.
I'm Elizabeth Neo with your Asia Business Update. More training equals more profit. That's according to a new study on productivity. Plus, MAS and the French Central Bank complete the first ever cross-border payment experiment using digital currencies.
Cybercrime cases jumped by over 70% last year, accounting for almost half of total crimes reported. That's according to the latest report by the Cybersecurity Agency of Singapore, which also shows cyber threats evolved in tandem with the pandemic. Geraldine Yap with the story.
Abigail Ong thought she'd found a good deal on Carousell when she saw a game console selling for about 20% cheaper than the actual retail price. What she didn't know was that she was about to get scammed.
He let me test it out and everything was working. But then when I went home, I played the 3DS until the battery was drained and I went to go charge it, and that's when I realized the charging wasn't working. He said, I will send